Want to know how to determine what tile you're standing on from your tile map based off where your player is? Such as right there where we just died in the water without using areas or physics, any collision of any kind. Stay tuned, I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so when dealing with a tile map, of course you're going to have a tile set that you have set in your inspector, and all of your tiles are here on the side. Now each of your tiles will have an ID associated to them. As you can see here on the side, we've got ID 0, 1, 2, 3. So my water is ID 3. And this is important to notice because if I want my frog, in this case, because we've recreated Frogger, if I want my frog to die when it jumps in the water, then I need to keep ID 3 in mind, because ID 3 is what I'm going to want to match. So let's go ahead and take a look at the code for this. And line 97 to 102 is all you're going to need here. For the full thing, really you only need 98.99. And first thing we're going to do is set a variable for our map position. And I just have a variable up top, my tile map. And here I'm just getting we're using local to map, which will help get us a position here. And we're setting that, or we're getting that based off of our, in this case, player position. Now, if you wanted to do this based off of, say, a projectile, then you would use the projectile's position. And then from there, we get the ID by, again, using our tile map, and we're calling get cell source ID. We pass in the layer that we're looking for, and for me, it's all on layer 0. And then we pass in that map position that we just calculated in the above line. And that's all we need. With that, we now have the ID. And in my case, I can now check if ID is equal to 3, because remember, 3 is my water. I can then call death. Now, if you prefer working in 3D, this works almost identically for grid maps. I'm going to switch over to the 3D version here. And you can see the first thing, the only thing different is we have 3 lines here instead of 2. So I'm going to get the current position, which is a vector 3, and in my case, since my frog, well, quote unquote frog, he's really just a cube, is standing on top of the cell, right? He's not going through it, he's standing on top of it because it's 3D. We have to get the current position, right? So we get my X of the player, my Z of the player, and I'm going -1 because I'm going 1 block down, so 1 block under my player, since that would be the block that I'm standing on. And then the same thing, we get our grid map, we call local to map, and we pass in that variable that we got for our positions, since we need to get a modified version, right? 1 block below us. And then from there we can get the ID, and we actually call a function called get cell item, and just pass in that map position. And just like that, we have the ID again. Now, in this case, my water block is an ID of 1 instead of 3, so I'm checking for if ID is 1, then I must be standing on top of my water block, and we can call my death function. But yeah, there you go. Working in 2D and 3D, whether it's grid maps or tile maps, are pretty similar. In this case, for getting the ID, it's almost identical. It's almost a 1-to-1 translation. There you go, just something quick that whether you're working in 2D or 3D, hopefully this video was a little helpful for you.